So back in 2007, I interviewed a psychic, a clairvoyant, who had, since he was 10, ongoing visions of this China-Russia invasion, something that other people claim to also have had. I think that dreams can be induced. I do. But with regards to this, since that time period, 2007, 2008, I've always been really fascinated with it and believe within, my own heart, within my own gut, if you will, that we would see a human trafficking epidemic following such a thing. We're actually already seeing it now. So I've been pretty passionate about warning people. I do think that there is something legitimate about the warning that was given to me about the future by this individual. The reason that I'm making this video now, and I'm leaving it up to fate that somebody will, receive my message in a bottle, we know that AI will. The question is, will you? Will you, the off-gridder in Colorado, receive this video? Will you, the resident in Trinidad, Colorado, or Colorado Springs, or Denver, or is it Park County? Wouldn't it be bad to reach some people in Pagosa Springs? They're going to be affected by this, as well as those over in Durango and Cortez. Just the whole Four Corners area. We have plenty of doomsday cults. Problem is, a lot of them lean to the right. Right? So this whole right-wing thing that's happening in America, which some people are cheering on and some people are against, it's not just like some random thing, and it's anything but America first. The critics of Trump and the critics of the America First movement, MAGA, don't even understand the Chinese-Russian strings that are pulling the actions of Donald Trump. They might look to a certain degree at Russia, but only to a certain level, not all the way. Nor do they look at how both the United States and Russia have tag-teamed countries like Afghanistan to drive them into ruin. So, he said that there would be safe areas in America. And he talked about the east side of the Rocky Mountains. So I've been going around on the internet for years talking about his vision and how he saw people in Colorado fighting with guns to defend their wives, their children. And see that, I asked him about human trafficking. He did say that he saw that. He didn't elaborate on it. But since that time, I've seen a buildup and a buildup. And how they have really driven the world into a dark, lustful state of consciousness with modern pornography. I've talked at great length about that. Since that time period in 2007, it's been 19 years now. If you want to see the interview, you can go to my blog and type in the word psychic in the search bar over at solarseer.substack.com. solarseer.substack.com. So I feel like now is the time to start reaching out to people because I'm seeing lots of signs in the news right now that a lot of things that I thought would happen are happening. From detention centers to what the surveillance society grid is really for, to the prediction that by 2025 you would see a lot of possessed people. I've been talking about the solar cycle, how people are affected by solar flares as far as violence, crime, and there is consciousness, psychic abilities, telepathy, things regarding that with solar flares, but not for your average person who doesn't properly transmute the energy. People that are just unconsciously taking in the energy from the solar cycle, a lot of them are driven mad. So whether you're looking at World War III or whether you're looking at the people that are being driven mad from the solar cycles or from the drugs, from the fentanyl, the homeless crisis, Colorado is more expensive now, especially since COVID, but it still is the only place that I can think of as a place to get away from it all, and I'm stuck in the Dallas area, and to have talked about World War III for so many years, and to see things manifesting, I know how we're going to be affected here. Even if we're not nuked, even if we're not hit with weapons or missiles, right, there's still going to be the chaos going on in America as a result of what's going on elsewhere. And if the grid goes down, okay, there's going to be a lot of theft. There's a lot of poor people here. It's number 4 when it comes to people that are basically living in destitute. Okay, and there's a lot of people moving here. It's not a place that's right for me. I've already lived off grid. So, I want to be with the right community that understands that we need to get away from certain areas. Leon talked about the east side of the Rocky Mountains. So when I look at the map, I'm interpreting that to be on the whole other side of Denver, right? And in that area, they want to build a lot of data centers, ironically. So my theory is there may be something legitimate about what he's seeing. Maybe they want to preserve that area east of Denver for these data centers, which I wouldn't want to live by. They're basically like acoustic weapons. But are there certain pockets east of Denver that should be explored for off-grid living? The thing is, you got to have the money to live out there. It's not divided up where you can live out there for like 1 acre. You got to have like a certain amount of land. And that's a great way to describe a lot of America and a lot of Colorado in general. So I don't know how I can get out there. But I know that with this video could get out there to one of you that lives out there, that's preparing for this, that may not have thought about this potential, that there could be a lot of people heading your way to survive what's coming. The government's been relocating to Colorado for a number of years. The CIA, there are alleged underground tunnels also in and around Archuleta Mesa, which is just outside of Pagosa Springs, which is Archuleta County. Again, where I lived for 4 years, next to Costia County. So, yeah, I have a good feel for the energy up there. The problem is, there's a lot of people that moved into Colorado and other off-grid areas there and around America that are dirty, that are nasty, that are tweakers, that are racist, that are scumbags, that are criminals. And I don't mean somebody just labeled a criminal. That's one thing. I mean people that are actual career criminals that steal shit. I want to get away from that. Now, I'm a spiritual person, and I also believe in, I wouldn't call it witchcraft, but the powers of the mind. And I do believe that a number of people meditating together can bring in the angels, the archangels, and bring about a protection to their land or region when they're under attack or experiencing a major national emergency. I want to find my tribe for when everything burns down. And I don't want to be here in Dallas. I have a lot of knowledge to offer, but I can't force it upon these people that live here. And it doesn't matter whether they're Indian, Muslim, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Native American. There's few of them here in this part of east of Dallas. It doesn't matter what the race is. This place, folks, has fucked up a lot of people. And they're fucked up from social media, they're fucked up from the food, they're fucked up from the water, they're fucked up from the air. So are the people in Colorado, especially Denver. But I'm not giving up. The very fact that there may be survivable spots there in Colorado for what's coming, at least for a time, is why this video is being made. And you're not going to find a lot of people out there at my level of intelligence or intuition that delivered this warning to you about what's coming as far back as 2007, right? Now, I don't know exactly when this is going to happen, but the warning signs, which I'm going to share for you now, I provided to my audience years ago. This is nothing new. Number one, mass internment, right? Which we're seeing now, and we're seeing the path to more of it with the buildings that DHS has been buying. Another is an incident where there's like over 1 million dead. And while it could be what they've already done to Palestine, right now, with them announcing the Greater Israel Project, how they believe that they have a divine right to colonize and take over the Middle East and to kick out those people. We also see the rise in people saying nuke them all, or I looked at one website which has a bunch of right-wing patches to basically send the messaging to the type of ideology that they have. It was a self-defense weapons website. There's some pretty messed up stuff there. When in doubt, nuke them all. Like the sense that I get with what could be happening with certain countries like Iraq in the future is we could see, or Iran, of course, but we could see a number of different countries attacked after the push of a red button, ultimately. Some sort of a laser weapon, some sort of a something that comes down and just evaporates or destroys or kills or murders a massive amount of people, probably in a Muslim country that happens to have ties to China or Russia, for example. So by design, because I think that we're dealing with evil that's not really masterminding itself necessarily in one country, it's actually more global than that, right? Something's being masterminded in which we're being entrapped. We're being like walked into this situation that's actually very, very dangerous. So if the whole world turns against America, we would come under attack, possibly nuclear. But according to Leon, the guy that I interviewed, he just thought it would be conventional weapons that would be, targeting military sites, not necessarily the major cities. He also could be wrong. But even if we deal with that situation where it's, targeting military installations, the grid could go down, then there could be chaos in the cities because people can't afford food. And so we have a society by design that is about being on demon time, being a gangster, being a thug, right? We have a sick, degenerate society that has celebrated all things theft, murder, rape, kidnapping, pimping, drugging, like everything wrong, everything evil, everything bad. So it's been prepped, folks, by design in the same way that the U.S. soldiers were prepped to go into Afghanistan after years of WWE programming, after years of True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger, after years of the terrorist boogeyman being depicted in the Chuck Norris films. Know what I mean? Of course you do. So we're dealing with the next level of programming now, including their telegraphing to put a bunch of Muslims in concentration camps. I think for people to prove to me that they're not of the devil, right? That they actually have a soul, that they have consciousness, that they want God to bless them, that they should actually help somebody like me get back to Colorado, because haters doxed me where I was at in Pagosa Springs because they knew I wanted that to be my long-term survival situation for what's coming. And that's why I left that place, sold my land, right? And right now I do have money, right? But not the kind of money that's being, they're asking for a certain price right now. The cost has gone up. The value is doubled, right, on certain plots in certain areas. That's out of my price point or price range. So I'm not totally broke, but I'm not rich. And I could really use some assistance right now, some advice on how I can mindfully do something with the resources that I do have. Like, let's say if I had $500 a month, for example, to invest in something. $500 a month. What could I do with that? Where could I apply that $500 a month towards something? And is there a way that through my own intelligence, through my own labor, through my own ability to speak, through my own ability to write or make podcasts, engage in a little bit of marketing, is there a way that I can help somebody else out in the state of Colorado, or somebody else in another state, perhaps Arizona? But according to that location, Leon said that the West Coast states would be invaded, and that includes Arizona, right? So again, I'm going to go with my gut here, okay, and trust the information. And if I'm going to trust the information, then I got to steer clear of any long-term planning for the West Coast or East Coast. I got to get back to Colorado. It's like that song from the 70s or 80s, got to make it to the border. But in this case, we're not talking about the Mexican border. We're talking about the border of Colorado. So help me live my dream. Help me help others, because I'm going to be in a better place mentally, spiritually, physically, as far as the video creation and whatever I might be doing at that point. But folks, we're getting very close to something manifesting. And if the internet goes down, people's ability to pay for things will go down, and then the chaos will begin. Get a hold of me as soon as possible. My email is whatinthehellisgoingon@proton.me. That's whatinthehellisgoingon@proton.me. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a comment. Talk to you later.